Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Rain from the BVSD Communications team, and I'm joined here with Veronica from our new tool, Apptegy. Thanks for joining this training for teachers on Apptegy today. I'm going to give you an introduction to the tool, and then Veronica from their team is going to walk us how to use it. To start, Apptegy is the new district-wide communication tool designed to help keep families and secondary students updated. It's available for download via the App Store of anyone's preference as the Boulder Valley School District app. Previously, in order to know what was happening at their school, in their classroom, or on the athletic team, BVSD parents and students had to follow multiple places: email, Infinite Campus, Schoology, Google Classroom, and other applications. It's hard to stay on top of all those things when information is coming from different directions, we heard from parents. The BVSD app will be the hub for communication with parents and secondary students going forward, featuring every school in our district for school staff, coaches, club leads, as well as at the district level. The one place to find important updates and to connect with teachers and staff in our district. Knowing the importance of good communication with our families, it takes all of us working together to make this a place where they go for updates. By providing families with a single place, we hope to increase connection and understanding, hopefully decreasing the need to repeat information or remind folks where to find it. The BVSD app will be the place to look. It meets our state accessibility requirements, and that's important not only because it ensures that those with disabilities like visual impairedness can receive the messages, but because you now can reach every family regardless of what language they speak. You type your message in English and Apptegy automatically translates the language of their choice in more than 100 languages. And importantly, being in one district tool will help us to protect students and staff. It's critically important that every conversation be available for review and record requests to meet legal requirements. Apptegy replaces School Messenger for broadcast communication, Talking Points for two-way communication, and all other tools that schools were using to send newsletters and classroom updates. Through the app, school office staff will be able to provide social media-like updates and notifications about the things happening in their buildings, while still sending email, phone, and text messages when needed. Teachers and coaches are able to post messages, updates, direct message individuals, share resources, and more for multiple classrooms via the Apptegy Tile in Class link and via the Apptegy for Staff app from their mobile device. While there is a mobile app option, Apptegy for Staff it's called, teachers are not required to use it on their cell phones. That convenience to post from your phone is there if it's helpful, but not required. Additionally, teachers are not expected to reply to or send messaging outside of working hours. Our ask is for all teachers to use this app as their primary communication tool with parents and students at the secondary level. You, of course, will be able to continue to use Google Classroom and Schoology for schoolwork, and you may time from time need to send or respond to an email in your Gmail, but most communication should be in Apptegy, as Veronica is going to walk us through how to do those things. A reminder of the key points of this new BVSD app. Apptegy is our primary communication tool with the goal of one place for parents to go for all school-related updates. Teachers can access Apptegy via ClassLink, see the Apptegy tile in your ClassLink login, and can also download the Apptegy for Staff mobile app. Teachers are not required to use the mobile app and are not expected to respond to any messages after hours. Teachers should regularly share messages to families, post photos, etc. via the app or the web platform. And there are more useful resources and guidelines and also contact info on how to get help on the staff.bvsd.org website under Departments, Communications, and Apptegy resources. And a link to this page is also shared here in this presentation. So now we'll share over with Veronica from Apptegy, who will walk us through how to use the tool as a teacher.
Thank you, Erin. So I'm going to get my screen share going. And like Erin mentioned, you'll use ClassLink to get logged in. Once you have logged into the platform, you may land here on the feed view or your account settings page. From the feed view, you'll see all of the updates of the rooms that you're a part of. And so this will be blank for you as you're getting started, but over time, you'll see information here for the classes that you participate in. Where we want to get started is using our teacher orientation checklist. Under the task section in our help widget, you'll find your Welcome, Let's Get Started checklist. The first step in this 6-step workflow is to set up our profile. It's going to take place up here at the top right. First, you'll head over to your account settings page. You can click your avatar at the top right of the screen and click account settings. And from this page, we want you to put a photo or another avatar with your likeness, putting a face with a name. Students and parents will be able to see your avatar when they're chatting with you in the platform. Then you might want to update your preferred name. So you can click into first or last name and edit this field. The next thing here is preferred language. This is where you can set the language that you'd like to use within the platform. And this is going to be available, like Erin said, for both staff and for your parents and students. So this powers the translation that happens throughout the platform by setting your preferred language here. The next thing is to manage your notification preferences. Within our system, if you have the Apptegy for Staff app downloaded, you can receive push notifications for new messages. This notification schedule here indicates if you will be receiving push notifications during this time of the day. So you can set a specific time frame, weekdays only, and a specific time of day. You can pause notifications for a time period and set a return date. And you can customize your out-of-office message. So this is what will be visible to guardians, staff, and students who are trying to message you while you are unavailable or outside of your notification window. You will still receive the message into the platform or into your app during this time period. It will just be indicated to the person messaging you that you are unavailable. Down here under the email settings, you can see for your messages section, you can also set instant email notifications hourly from different time periods of the day, daily, or completely mute those messages. Also with room announcements, the same option there for updating those notification preferences. So you really are in control of how often the system is going to be notifying you of new information. Great, so that is step one in our task list here. Getting those notifications configured. Now we're going to send a direct message. So we will go down to the connect section in our sidebar navigation. And we will click on the messages tab. In this section, you can think of this as Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. It's a place where you can see a threaded conversation that you might be having with students, parents. You can create group messages, and you can even send a message to many recipients at one time. So we'll walk through those workflows now. The first thing that you can do is click Start a New Message. From here, you can decide if you want to send from a roster that you're a part of, or look through the directory of students, guardians, and staff on your account. If I want to start a new group, I click New Group, and then I can multi-select the folks that I want to contact. So in this case, I might have a few students that I'm working with on a group project. I can select those students and click Add Contacts. Now I have 3 message recipients, and we can say this group message is for the senior project group. When I'm publishing this message, I have 2 options, right? Send to a group or send separately. In this case, I'm setting up a group conversation, give this a name. And start that group thread. Now, keeping in mind, a staff member is the only person who can start a group message, and a staff member must be present in the group to facilitate the conversation. I can click on the group name and I can see the members, add or remove individuals from the group. Under thread settings, you can update the thread to archive it when maybe the senior project is over. This group thread is no longer needed. I can archive this for everybody. I recommend keeping an archive of your group messages when they're no longer needed, just as good message hygiene. That way nobody's coming in, 6 months, a year down the line, posting in this group message that's no longer relevant. So as soon as it's no longer relevant, come in here and archive for everybody. You'll notice in the thread, I've got a check mark down here 1 check mark means it's been delivered to the group. 2 check mark means it has been delivered and read. So we have read receipts here in the messages section. You can also react to the post. And in this case, these other students would be able to participate in the thread. Now I'm going to demonstrate the send as a separate message functionality. So again, I have a group. I want to message everybody in my algebra class. Add contacts. What you might think of this is as an email. You might have traditionally gone and sent an email to everybody in your class. It's all being delivered to separate inboxes and people can reply to you individually. So this one could be like, please let me know if you are taking And in this case, we want to message everybody, but we want to hear back from folks individually. You can also think of something like asking if folks need help with a fee for a field trip. Those conversations that really should just be one-on-one between you and a student or you and a guardian, but you can do this action across all 35 recipients at one time. So I'll click the send separately. And now you can see all of my threaded conversations have updated with that message sent out to everybody in my class. They can respond back to me individually. So the 2 use cases just in review for messages is maybe taking over what you had previously sent as an email. You can start a group conversation and everybody can see those replies in one view. Or you can use the send as a separate message functionality and send one message to everybody individually.
Can you clarify if they're messaging parents and students, does it combine them or do they need to add those guardians and students separately?
It's a great question. So again, when I'm doing my new message, I could do a new group. I could look at a guardian. I've got Adrian here and I can choose Adrian as the mom and the students of Adrian. And now I can maybe more accurately, I want to message Leslie and her mom. So I can click add those contacts and I can share, a shout out, a picture, something great that happened in class today with Leslie. And I want to loop in Leslie's mom in on that shout out. So I can send that both to the student and the guardian in one group message. So that is step 2 here in our checklist. The next thing is to create our first room. The room is going to be the way that you can facilitate announcements and updates to your classes. So we'll click on the rooms section. Now for you all, you won't have any rooms created for you. You will create your own rooms. So you'll click the new button at the top right of the screen. You'll give your room a name. And you'll select a building to associate it with. Tab over here to the rosters section under add users. And this is where you will find the rosters where you are the teacher of record. Now we are going to be holding these back until closer to school. So these will be available to you when the district makes them visible. And you'll be able to see the staff members and the students that are within this class and choose to add it into this room. Now for this example with algebra, maybe I'm teaching multiple sections of algebra. I have the option to add multiple rosters, have one space where I provide updates across the classes that I teach, or I may choose to have different rooms for each section. There's some flexibility in there on how you choose to configure and create your rooms. If you are working with students as a club or an organization, a special interest group, you can create a new room. We call this Drone Club. And I don't have a roster for the club, but I can tab over to the users section and I can find students by name or email. I can upload a CSV of student IDs and I can select individuals to add to the room. The benefit of using rosters over adding users manually is that our rosters are going to be updating nightly with enrollment information. So as students change classes, different schedules, new students join or leave the district, the roster that you've connected is always going to stay up to date. So highly recommend, if you do have a roster in place, utilizing the roster's functionality over adding users manually.
Also, another great thing about these dynamic lists of guardians is that the same thing will happen with their information. It's updated nightly. If they were to change their email address or phone number, it would update automatically for any users.
So once you have your room published, it will be visible to any participants that you've added. You can click into your room and start adding content and information. So you can see for this class, under the participants list, I can see the staff that are moderators and members. I can see the students and their guardians in this list. I have an announcements card here where this is where I'm creating my announcements. Think of an announcement as anything you're going to email the class, something that you might have previously put in a weekly or a monthly newsletter. You can break that apart into small announcements over the course of the school year to constantly keep your parents up to date on what's happening in the classroom. You have text editor here. You can add photos and attachments. You can schedule this post to go out another time. So if you're working on something and you want it to go out the next day, just toggle this on and you can set that schedule. And again, for that use case where I mentioned multiple sections, if you have an update that you want posted across multiple rooms, you'll have that option to copy your post over. After you've created your post, it will land here in the feed section, where students and parents that are participants in the room will be able to read this content. You can also see we have the read receipts here as well. So as the teacher, you can see who has seen or not seen your post. You can pin important announcements up to the top of the feed. And you can think of this as, a log of all of the updates for the class for the school year.
So think about, if I'm a parent using the app, I would have the BVSD app. I have students at 2 different schools. I've selected both of those schools. And as I toggle between those 2 feeds, it lists my rooms as a parent. And I'm able to go to that room at that school and see this feed. And that's also where I'm able to see these messages, respond and send messages as well if I'd like. And then I could switch to a new school, new room. And that's how the parents will engage with it.
A couple more features here in the rooms that are really helpful but optional to use. You have a materials section. This is a great way to organize content. You can create folder structure. You can include files or external links. So you can see in this class, we've linked out to our LMS system, important school calendars, things that are helpful for parents. We've got the information section. You can think of this as a blank canvas for you to include a teacher bio, classroom expectations. We've included a school supply list here. All of this will be visible to students and parents both in the platform and through the BVSD app for your classroom. And then the settings section here, if you ever choose to make a change to the room name, that accent color for the room, enable or disable certain section visibility. And then this section here, unpublished settings, will be where you can set the archive date for your room. Now we have a date that we have at the district settings, but if you're working with something over the summer or a different kind of schedule than the district schedule, this unpublished settings will allow you to customize that.
And only those parents assigned to your room and students can see the information posted in these messages in your room. It's not available to the public, even if they have the app.
Exactly, yeah. Next tab over here under settings is your integrations. This is where you will do your classroom import, Google Classroom import, where you can choose to sync announcements and assignments from Google Classroom into the Rooms platform with Apptegy. Think of this as a one-way sync over. We're not pushing any information to Google Classroom, just those announcements and assignments from Google Classroom into your feed section here. Alrighty. So on our getting started checklist, the next thing is create your first announcement. This is important because once you start sending announcements, guardians and students will begin getting those notifications that there's something for them to see in the platform. So we want to drive them into the app, into the platform to get their information. So just some example statements here, getting excited about getting started for the next school year. You know, you can put your own mix and flavor on this, but sending that first announcement is a great way to get your students and your guardians engaged and that behavior of coming to the app for that information. Step 5 here, download the staff app. As Erin mentioned, we have an app available that is optional for you to use. Everything that we covered today, as far as creating rooms, sending out messages, creating announcements, it's all going to be available for you in the app should you choose to use it. So we have some links here so that you could get that downloaded. And the last step here, some additional Help Center articles, videos going to be available to you. You can click this Help Center icon. Once you're logged in, you'll be able to access this information, a lot of detailed information about what we covered today, some step-by-step instructions, again, to get you started. And then finally, just want to show you guys where you can get help in the platform from our support team. So Apptegy support is available to all of you Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Central. But we do have our help bot that runs 24/7, 365. Send us a message with your question, and we're going to get you pointed in the right direction and get you going. We're happy to help. Happy to see you guys getting started and using the platform, and wishing you a lot of success in this next school year. Thank you.
And that's what is available in that bottom right corner, right, of the screen to pop up the help bot.
Yes, just look for the circle icon here, and then you'll look for the messages section to get started in the chat.
All right. Okay, visit our resource page website here for more help and who to contact for more support. And thank you for your time.